Heidi Gardner is here.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I was just telling you before we started that I watched your so hard to say architectural digest.
Digest.
Architectural.
Yeah.
You say it.
Architecture. Now I can't say it.
You can say it.
Architectural.
Okay.
But I think I emphasized every syllable when I.
Architectural
But I'd probably
digest.
be like If I was just being natural, I'd be like architectural digest.
Yeah, got to do it fast.
Yeah.
In Kansas
In
City,
Kansas City, where I'm from, my home.
representing like hello.
Yeah.
Lucky to have you, Kansas
Oh,
City.
thank you. I'm lucky to have Kansas City. I won't shut my mouth about the city. I
You won't
love
sh-
it. It's
Born and
what
raised.
born and raised. It's what made me. I love the Chiefs. I love the city. I love the people. I love that it has a spotlight on it right now. And
Like you, the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, all
I was
literally.
mostly thinking of Taylor, but
Oh, you're like, okay, yeah, she
Taylor
is.
and the Chiefs and
Yeah.
Travis and
Do you
Patrick.
feel it there? Like the change since that happened?
It has been. It was even a little pre-Taylor with the Super Bowl wins, and we had the NFL draft. It was just all these things were happening in KC, and I think everybody was like, we need to savor these moments. Like we need to go all to all of these events. We were already going to Chiefs games, but it's like my brother always reminds me when we're like, should we watch it home or try to go to the game? He's like, we have a unicorn quarterback. Like let's go to the game. Like this is
Mm.
so it feels like that in
What
Kansas
does he mean
City.
by unicorn quarterback?
Like Mahomes is just so he's one of a kind.
Oh my God, she lights up. No, if I'm your boyfriend, I'm like, okay. No, the way you lit up, what, like in sports or in life?
Well, I think both, but
Okay.
definitely in sports. I mean, I don't know Patrick very well, but I've met him and I think he's very special and what he does for the team and the game.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
he elevated it.
he elevated it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very special.
Wow. So you go. You go.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
so your brother makes you go.
Yes. I mean, only he doesn't make I'm just as passionate
Okay. You're like,
about
don't
it.
give him
Yeah,
credit.
don't give
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it feels in Kansas City right now. It's like get out there, be a part of the city, be a part of our
Wow. That's
world.
so nice.
Yeah.
We don't really, do we have that in New York? I'm not a sports person, but are people like that with like the Yankees and our sport?
Yeah, I think definitely like I think the Knicks first playoff run was a couple years ago and it had been a drought before that. And I
Uh,
remember going to a playoff Knicks game and like the city was on
on
fire,
fire.
It felt
But
good.
maybe you feel it more in Kansas City because it's like smaller.
Smaller and it's more personal
It's
to
more
me.
personal.
So, yeah.
Because born and raised, like people get confused, by the way, you guys. I looked into it because there are two Kansas cities,
Yes.
one in
Kansas.
Kansas
Yep.
and one in Missouri. You're in the Missouri one.
Yep.
And so people get confused, but I looked it up yesterday. It's not that confusing. It
Yeah.
just goes across both states.
Yeah.
So
There's
you
a
just
state
have to,
line, there's
yeah.
a road,
Have you
state
been to
line.
the other Kansas City?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird that because I was born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, and say someone would come in town for a concert and you'd be watching it on the Missouri side of Kansas City, and they'd be like, and the artist, who maybe it's their first time in Kansas City, hears Kansas City, thinks they're performing in Kansas, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, "Hello, Kansas," and we'd be like,
Oh, oh, you would get mad. Yes, that makes
but
sense.
but it's okay, like Kansas City.
They get confused because
Yeah.
I was listening to like Jason Bateman has a thing about this. I was listening to Smart List. Whenever Kansas City comes up, he still doesn't get it. So that's why I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, but it's easy. It's easy to get.
Yeah.
But I love that you're so connected to it that you bought a house there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how often, because with your job at SNL, like how often can you actually be at home?
So I used to just go kind of for holidays and once in the summer. And then 2 years ago, I had gone back. I think it was for the NFL draft. And then the writer's strike happened and then actors strike. And so I just didn't come back to New York for the summer. I was like, oh, I can just kind of be in Kansas City. And it felt really good to just be able to spend a whole summer at home again.
Yeah.
And it was like really healing and nourishing. And I was like, yeah, that does make sense to me. It feels like summer because this is where I was a kid and had summer and was swimming and a
Yeah.
lot of swimming and
Lot of swimming.
hanging out with friends and being with family.
But that was 2023 summer.
Yeah.
So, but you can actually do that every summer, right? Because the SNL's on all the time.
No, so it was like we got cut off like 3 shows early that year with the strike.
Oh.
But we kind of have like a school year season. Like we're off mid-May to October.
Oh, so you do have the summer to do that.
Yeah.
It's like your Hamptons.
Yeah, it's my Hamptons.
That's so
I
fun.
like that.
But isn't it weird when you're not there? Like, I can't imagine, like, you're not there for many months and then you come home. Or does someone go in there for you and, like,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
family does?
Yeah.
And they make it feel like it's not
I'm very
abandoned?
lucky. Yeah.
And you love your family so much. If you guys watch your AD tour, like, you literally walk in, picture of your dad.
Yeah. Yeah, that picture is so important to me. That picture has been it's a picture of my dad with a lampshade on his head and like a rocks glass and it's New Year's Eve. The lampshade has ribbons coming from it. It's just it is my dad and it means so much to me, but I also think it just means like party and fun
And then that's
vibes.
the vibes.
Yeah. And so that was important to me like from the time I started talking to the interior designer, Madeline Hudson, I was like, this photo of my dad has to have a spot, a meaningful spot in the house. And of course,
Wow.
it ended up just like right
Front
upon entrance.
front and center.
Yeah.
How old are your parents?
71 and 68.
Because they sound like so fun, and you seem to, like, be so connected to them, which is so cute.
Yeah.
Like, your dad, and then you have a spot for your mom in the closet, and
Yeah.
you seem like such a family-oriented person.
Yeah. Those things definitely stick with me. The closet was so important to me because so many times when I just like want to transport in time or think about my happy place, it is her closet. And her closet was just part of her bedroom. I'm so lucky that I get to have this big old closet.
Yeah.
But it was like my mom just had this huge vanity with all the perfume bottles, the ones you can like squeeze on the end, the French
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
all of her mom, my grandma's costume jewelry out, hat boxes that had hats with like the veils.
Yeah.
And then her closet was such cool girl, late 80s, early 90s vibes. Like she would
Yeah.
have like the mini velvet sweetheart cut dresses with like the big
Wow,
gemstones
you
and
have such a good memory.
yeah, bolero jackets. Like watching her get ready for a date was everything for
Wow.
me. Yeah.
So you really, like, paid homage to that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. How far away are they? Is their house?
So my dad is they're actually both about like
Oh, because
20,
they're not
everything's
together.
20, yeah, everything's 20 minutes from each other in
Oh.
Kansas
And your
City.
brother is still there too?
I have 2 brothers and they're
2
both
brothers.
there. Yeah. Yeah. And my grandma, my mamo, she's there. Yeah.
And
And all my friends.
all your friends.
We're still on a group text chain from high school.
I can't.
And I swear it's not unhealthy. I'm not like
No?
codependent. I promise. I just am lucky and grateful that
And
I
you
still
love
get
because a
along
lot
with
of
people.
people that move the reason why it's, like, fascinating is because like, for real fascinating, is because so many people move to LA, move to New York for the biz, and
Mhm.
kind of maybe go home sometimes to visit
Yeah.
their family, but what's special about your relationship with it is, like, no, it's, like, still your home,
Yeah.
but do you feel like at home in New York too?
I do. And that's cool. I was worried after I did that whole summer in Kansas City and I just got kind of comfy again and I
Yeah.
was like, well, I wonder if I could just live here and do SNL and just fully go back to Kansas City on the hiatuses and like maybe just rent a hotel room like when I'm working. But I got back to New York and I was like, I do need this too. Like,
Yeah.
there's something really cool to me and stressful when I'm in Midwestern Kansas City. I leave one morning, like take a flight to New York, and I've just been on like tree-lined Midwestern streets, and then 4 hours later, I'm on the subway and
It's
like
wild.
don't have space, and I feed off that. I like it. I'm like, how did two worlds become so different so
And how long
quickly?
is the flight?
The flight is just like a little over 2 hours.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's also so like, it's so close, but does it ever give, like, anxiety to come back to the crazy New Yorkness, like the subway after you're, like, in the tree lined relaxing?
It used to, but now I just kind of embrace the chaos of it, and
So you
I'm like,
take the subway to SNL, not
yeah.
a car?
Yeah, every so often when it's too late, the show will get a car for us,
Yeah.
but I
Isn't
can
it always too late?
well, yeah, but I mean, even on nights where it's like 10:30, 11, sometimes I'll be going down to the train and someone like another cast member will stop me and be like, "Get a car," just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you're a
But
train gal, I
I
guess.
I like the train, yeah.
So let's talk about how you joined SNL because 2017, what is it? Like, 7 years?
Yep. 8 years on SNL, yeah.
8 years on SNL. So
Yeah.
how did you get on it? Was that always a dream? Well, wasn't your yearbook thing like most likely to be on
Yeah.
SNL?
Yeah, which was just cool. I remember being slightly disappointed that year because someone else got most likely to be an MTV VJ.
And that's what you really wanted?
At the time, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was a huge SNL fan, obviously. But I just thought that was cool, and I knew, like, people in high school thought I was funny, so I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a fun superlative," but it was I do think it was maybe a back of my mind dream. I can't even say it was a dream because I wasn't on any sort of path for acting or comedy or knew what improv really was. My dad did improv when I was really young, but
Like what, for fun he did it?
he did it in a group called Comedy Sports, and he was really good. And so it started to make more sense to me, but yeah, it just was not my path. I was funny, I did prank calls, and I could quote movies, and I kind of thought that's me. And I didn't
Who did
know.
you prank call?
Oh, I pranked call, like, the local radio
Yeah, yeah,
stations,
yeah.
all sorts of businesses.
Like doing voices?
Yes.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you knew you were good at voices,
Yeah, well,
at impressions and stuff.
I don't even know impressions. I knew I was good in those moments at transforming or making my friends laugh. Like, that
Yeah.
made me popular at sleepovers, or I could really get my younger brother laughing when I would do it, and,
Yeah.
like, I remember him wanting me to do it, like, for his friends, and I was like, but other than crank anchors, I was like, "I don't really think I'm gonna have a career in prank calls."
Yeah.
But I moved to LA. I dropped out of college, moved to LA to do hair, ended up taking an improv class, and then that's what
So you
kind of
moved to LA for like when you dropped out of college, it was for hair.
yeah, I was very confused about what I wanted to do, but I was cutting my friend's hair just for fun and was kind of good at it. And so I was like, "Okay, I'll drop out of school and I'll go to school for hair." But I felt a little bit of shame at the time, which I would not encourage anyone to feel shame for dropping out of school now, but I felt just very singular. I was like, none of all my other friends know their major and what they're gonna do.
What was your major at the time, or you
And
undecided?
truly nothing. Like, or just I was bouncing around. Like, I started at KU and I was like, okay, well, I like movies, so I'll be in the theater and film department.
Yeah.
But I was in like lighting design classes and that required math and, and skills. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna light I couldn't put these up
Yeah.
or understand the filters. Then I went to MU, I transferred and was in their design program because I was artistic, but again, I was getting out a ruler and I was like, I think this is also math based.
I know. Actually, you guys, so many things are math based. I used to think like I wanted to be in like fashion merchandising. And then you learn it's like, no, 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 you're not going to fashion shows and being like, that's cute. Let's merch
Mm-mm.
in it. You're like calculating things.
I
It's
know it's
all math.
fractions,
Look
like
it up before you decide
yeah,
on a major because it's not what you think it is.
fractions were back with all of those things. And so I just thought, okay, well, I feel insecure about dropping out. I think I want to do hair, but I was like, well, people know I like movies and pop culture, so if I say I want to do hair in LA, that will sound more legit. And so that's just what I said and I did. And
But you're saying that's what I said, but you weren't sure.
no, I was like, I gotta, if I say it, I gotta follow through. So I
Yeah.
did move to LA and get my license to do hair and worked in a salon. So
Did you do like celeb hair or just normie
not
hair?
really. We were in Studio City and like we would see celebs. One time we saw Jason Bateman walk by with like a French bulldog puppy, and my boss and I were like, we like screamed like, "Oh my god!" And I think he was like, "Whoa!" Like I'm about to get accosted, but we were like, "It's not you, it's your puppy."
Oh,
I can, blow my own hair out and wave it if I did not do today.
yeah.
I like cut into a wig for Halloween this year. I can still do things. And I would love to like blow a friend's hair out. It was very meditative when I did it.
I wish more men listened to my podcast because I would tell them go to Blue Nile and buy your girl some jewelry because what is a better gift than jewelry? Okay. And I know because I've had so much to celebrate this year. Like, I'm just so thankful. And I'm so thankful that I'm able to give a tip like this and say, jewelry is the way to go, you to you. Getting it from your partner, buying it is a big gift for your mother or mother in law or your sister. You want something sparkly. Okay. You're thinking of buying jewelry. There's no better place to do it than BlueNile.com. So again, if you're looking to buy something for yourself or to give the best holiday gift of all time, because what's better than getting jewelry? Blue Nile offers some of the highest quality standards in the industry, and the prices are significantly lower than traditional retail. So check them out, you guys. If you have questions about what to get, Blue Nile also has jewelry experts on hand 24/7 via phone or chat, from technical questions to budget suggestions. They really help you feel confident about your purchase. You want to know how many carats to get. I know you guys always have questions about those sort of things. You also get 30-day returns and a diamond price match guarantee. You really can't beat the ease and convenience of shopping Blue Nile or their selection. They've got thousands of independently graded diamonds for you to sift through. Go to BlueNile.com to shop Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com, BlueNile.com. Kids with a stuffy nose is incredibly hard. These kids, they don't know how to get their snot out. It's like blow. You know what I mean? And stuffy noses are just no bueno. When a baby's congested, it's just so hard and you want them to be able to breathe well. And that's why I'm so thankful for the new Navage baby aspirator and inhaler. These are baby safe, pediatrician recommended nasal care products, and they're game changers in our house when it comes to providing congestion relief. You need one of these at your house when you have a baby. And the Navage one is really great. It's a rechargeable aspirator and it uses really gentle suction to clear mucus and like takes it all out. It's a really great design. There's a 40% larger collection cup to gather mucus versus leading brands. You really want a lot of mucus gathering space, if you know what I mean. And it also has this unique anti backfill feature and it protects the motor from snot. 'Cause of course, you don't want anything from the snot getting in the machine, and everything is sealed so nothing gets inside. It's really helpful and it's a must, you guys, for this winter season that's coming up. Parenting is hard. Make life easier. Order the new Navage baby aspirator and inhaler today. I know you're going to thank me for this tip. My listeners can order directly from my exclusive URL, Navage. It's spelled NAVAGE.com/ not skinny. You can order both products and get full product details at navage.com/ not skinny. Again, that's NAVAGE. Don't wait. Order now at navage.com/ not skinny. This episode is brought to you by Sax.com. Listen, I knew what Sax.com was since I was a baby, okay? Being like, one day I hope to shop at Sax.com. It's so chic. It's so chic. And it's really making it fun to find the perfect gift for the pickiest people this holiday season, including myself. Because a gift from me to me is still a gift, you guys. There's literally holiday inspiration for everybody on your list. Again, when you get a holiday gift, you know from the box what's up. We're shallow over here, okay? I want to see Saks on the box. But I'm serious, you guys. Listen, whatever it is, whoever it is, you can do it on Saks.com. You can shop for anybody, especially for your hard to shop for mom who doesn't like anything and needs to be like organic and cotton from I don't know where. And Saks.com is where you go. Gifts for him, gifts for her, stocking stuffers, beauty gifts, and even gifts for kids, you guys. So Saks.com has a holiday gift guide. It makes it really easy to find presents for hard to shop for people. Saks is where you find viral selling sunglasses or trending sneakers. Saks.com can also help you find your own holiday vibe. You can upgrade your party looks with cult favorite Chloe bag or treat yourself to Gucci's loafers that will work for any holiday get together. Treat yourself. Find gifts guaranteed to bring joy to every hard to shop for person, including you, this season at Saks.com. It sounds like you're such a decisive, like, but confident in your decisions person. Casey dropped out and went there, like, decided this. Like, how did you have so much, like, confidence to make those huge changes?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a little it's kind of like if I say I'm gonna do something, I think I feel the pressure that I have to do it and prove it. and it's more the pressure or, like, what I think other people would think that's making me do it
That's
rather
driving
than
you.
just the natural confidence.
But I mean, something put like gas up your ass to do it.
Yeah.
So you moved by yourself. You did hair for 9 whole
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Were you auditioning during, or how did the entertainment stuff come up?
Like 4 or 5 years into it, I went to see a show at the Groundlings, and I was just like, "Wow, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm definitely gonna bring, like, my family when they come in town." And I had a friend who was performing at the Groundlings, and I told her that. She was like, "What'd you think of the show?" And I was like, It was awesome, and I'm definitely gonna bring, like, my mom." And she was like, "Okay, that's cool. I also think you should, like, take classes here because 'cause you're funny." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't think that's why you invited me." But she encouraged me to, and then other loved ones of mine, my older brother, when I told him, like, "My friend wants me to take an improv class," he was like, "I'll pay for it. I've been waiting for you to do something like that our whole lives."
Wow.
So, that was also it's other people believing in me too that gives me like that, "Okay, I'll try it." And I kept doing hair. It was just a really fun hobby. I was enjoying improv, starting to write sketch and perform. And then it was my boss at the salon who sat me down at a certain point and was like, "You don't belong here anymore." And I was kind of like, "Are you firing me?" She was like, "No, but I don't think you want to do hair anymore. Like you're meant for something else." And so I quit the salon, and it was probably like 6 or 7 months later SNL came, and
What do you mean SNL came?
so they come in the summers
Oh,
when
to
they're off to
Groundlings.
scout. Yeah. And they
Ah.
saw me. I was in a showcase with some other performers, and they saw me and then flew me to New York to test, and yeah.
Wow. Was that like a fast progression?
It was like they saw me in a showcase. 2 weeks later I heard they wanted me to come to New York. I tested for the show, and then a week later I heard they wanted me to come back, do a second audition, and then 10 days later I heard I got on the show. So it was like a month of like
And how long had you been on the Groundlings at that point when they came?
I had been in the main company for a year. So I'd taken classes and done their Sunday company, for like 5 years prior to that. You're building all your skills and
Wait, so 5 years you're in the Groundlings
yeah,
before the SNL Scout came?
yeah.
Or did they come like every year?
Well, they came every year. They came when I was in Sunday company and I did a showcase. I had been in Sunday company for maybe 3 months. And of course, you hear SNL's coming and you're like, well, that'd be cool to get.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't get it then because I didn't have the skills. I mean, I was still green when I did get it. So I needed like a year and a half, like more time in the like Sunday company before main company. I needed a lot more performance reps and a lot more like time to develop characters. And then I got it.
Was that so crazy?
It was crazy when it happened, when I found out I was gonna be on the show, and then I always tell this to new cast members. The day that they actually for, like, a week, but then they announce it, like, in the press,
Mhm.
and I always tell the new cast members, I'm like, "That day that they announce it, like, screenshot your phone because 'cause you'll never have more notifications than that day."
Yeah.
It was so cool. I know that people say, like, it's cliche, like, people come out of the woodwork when,
Yeah.
you know stuff like this happens, but I'm like, "It's
But
cool."
in a good way, it happened. Like,
Yes.
people were like, "Oh my god." Probably all your high school people who were like, "You were most
Yeah,
likely."
we did it.
Yeah.
And that's still to this day is really cool that I feel so special. I have friends of friends of friends who will tell me that just because I'm from Kansas City and like their daughter went to high school with me, they watch SNL.
Oh,
Like this
yeah.
like I feel like I have this community of love either just because of where I'm from or because of someone else they know, and it's like, "Oh, that is so cool."
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And this, like, half dream or, like, something that kind of accompanied you since you were younger
Yeah.
ended up happening.
Yeah.
That's super cool, and it's been what, 7 years? Can you give us a snapshot? Because, like I said, like, we've heard about this crazy schedule that you guys have. So what can you give me a snapshot of, like, a week in the
Yeah.
life?
Yeah, it's like Monday, we go in late in the day, we meet the host, we like pitch them a joke. It's just like informal. You're there for like a couple hours. That's kind of just the meet the host day. You pitch to the writers stuff you want to work on that week. But hopefully you're home by 8. Like you could do something on a Monday night. Tuesday, you come in anytime you want, really. I like to be into work by like 1 or 2. I'm a better writer at 1 p.m. than 1
So
a.m.
all the performers also write.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so you get in whenever you want on Tuesday. You just start writing your sketches. That can go well into the night, well into the next morning. I kind of like to work until the middle of the night, sleep, and then get back up on Wednesday and do rewrites and like little fixes on sketches. Then you get in to work on Wednesday around 2:30. You start to read all the sketches that are going to be at the table read in like the next hour. You do the table read, that takes like 3.5, 4 hours. You wait to find out what gets in this show. If you have a sketch in, you meet with production and hair and wigs and
Does
everything.
Lauren still decide all of that, or is it?
Yeah, and definitely the host has input too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and producers help and head writers. Just everyone's kind of designing the show, but Lauren for sure. Yeah. And then Thursdays are rehearsals, Friday are rehearsals, and we shoot all the pre-tapes. You get in around 11:30 on Saturday, you rehearse everything in wigs and wardrobe. Once you get about an hour break to eat, and then we do the dress rehearsal and then the live show. And then Sundays I watch Chiefs games and that's my
So
life.
Saturday's cray cray.
Yeah, and you go to the after party. So you're just like
Do you always go to the after party?
I do, like, maybe every 6, I might take one off just because I wanna have a easier Sunday, but I always kinda regret it because the after party is good to let off that steam and adrenaline. And
Yeah.
if I just go home with all that adrenaline,
Right. How do you even fall asleep?
yeah, I'm up anyways.
How's your sleep then with this, like, crazy schedule? Do you have good sleep?
No, I used to be such a great sleeper. Like, I feel like I even in my 20s, like, I was someone who wanted to go to bed at 10 or 10:30 on nights, where I wasn't doing something. I could fall right asleep, and then I could sleep till, like, 9:30, just, like, just a solid 12.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty brutal, like, even last night, I was so tired, like, I kind of filled my Sunday with too much. I was so tired around 8:30, and I could have just gone to bed, and
But
I
you
was
didn't.
still up till 12:30 knowing I had stuff this morning. I
Well,
just
watching TV?
Yeah, Housewives. Like,
Which one?
I did OC Reunion, the latest New York, and the latest Salt Lake.
What are you thinking of New York? It's getting you watched the New York one with the prank pregnancy?
Yes.
What'd they do?
Why do that? Also, I
Bueno.
any repercussions that come from that to
I
it
think I saw that Andy was a little pissed.
I mean, it's so fabricated and dumb, and, like, even I feel like I have no idea the actual information that Bryn heard of off that prank, but I wouldn't even I'm like, I feel like she's gonna get called out in the next episode, like, "Well, you
Brent?
lied about all that stuff,"
Yeah.
then but I'm just like, "Well, the lie shoulda never came." That is such an elaborate, stupid prank.
I
I
know.
don't like it.
I mean, no one really likes a pregnancy prank anymore just because we're so hyper aware of everything, but
Yes.
also like a reality show about a fake thing,
Mhm.
like an entire episode. I mean, I'm a
An
New York
entire episode.
an
I was
entire
like, "How long is this dodgeball scene going on?" It was like there's that movie Anora right now that has a 30-minute scene,
Yeah.
and it's actually really good and thrilling, and I was like, "This
Wait,
is like
everyone's telling me to watch that. It's
yeah, it's
good.
great," but I was like, "This is like Anora level. They're at this dodgeball place, Chelsea Piers for 30
I know.
minutes."
I feel like every show has that. I remember Breaking Bad had that fly episode.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like every show has that.
yeah.
What's your favorite sketch to do or impersonation to do?
I really like being at the update desk. I feel
Yes.
like it's really fun to do characters there. Recently, I got to do Reba McEntire, and that was
Oh, right.
fun.
That was very cool.
And there's one I do that's like a busy coworker who's doing seemingly nothing, and she's just overwhelmed. It's like fun for physicality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like doing impressions? Is there one that you like hate doing that you feel like you're not good at it, but everyone's like, no, it's our favorite one?
I feel like I'm not much of an impressionist, so when I do have to do one, I'm a little in my head about it. And I think the best thing you can do when you're not an impressionist is actually just have fun in the impression, like
Right.
not try to get it perfect because
Right.
you're just not.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Like make it kind of make fun of yourself and
Yes.
at the
Yeah.
same time. You famously broke
Hmm.
character in Ryan Gosling's Beavis and Butthead, which like was so funny, and I think it made it funnier that you
Mhm.
did. But what was that moment like for you? Why was that the moment that made you break?
I've thought about this a lot because I found it like a big source of pride that I never break,
Yeah,
and even though it's like so lovable and likable, I don't know why I wouldn't even use it as a crutch. But I just didn't I'm just so character, or like I'm like stick in your character, stay,
yeah,
And also in that one I was the straight man and it's like you really want to get out all the information for all the fun stuff around to
right,
happen.
right.
But I will say because I was like, why did I break so hard? Some of it is, Mikey and I sit next to each other at table. He's like a brother to me. He makes me laugh constantly.
Yeah,
And like, I'm like, okay, I have that relationship with Mikey. But then I was like, I don't know. I get that he's funny. I laugh at him all the time and I haven't done it on TV. Why did I do it? And like, I was watching the old like Debbie Downer sketches where everyone would
I
famously
was.
break.
That's what I was thinking of too. Like those times were so good.
They're so good, but also it's like everyone around a table and they're all seeing each other about to break. Like they know they can all feel it
Yes.
happening.
Yeah.
And I do think maybe the audience in Beavis and Butthead, like the actual studio audience, like could feel it coming to a swell because they were seeing Ryan and Mikey. And I just don't think anyone has ever had to like blindly look back at something that shocking.
Yeah.
Like I had to do something where I was surprised by, and I had seen him before in rehearsals, but they like amped up the makeup
Oh,
this
yeah,
year,
yeah. Okay, so you were shocked by
So
the
yeah, I was just coming in blind, and then I look back to see like my very good friend look like that,
yeah,
and
and Ryan Gosling.
yes, and it just
And I think
filled.
they had I think for sure Ryan had a little smile
Yes,
the whole
yes,
time.
but I was definitely trying to keep it together
Yeah,
for Ryan's because he was the first reveal, and that was early on in the sketch. I'm like, I can't go.
yeah,
Like then Mikey, I just could not help it.
and that's your first time in all these years.
Yeah.
And then was there a part of you that was, like, hard on yourself? Like, "Why'd I do that?" Or immediately you were like, "No, people are fine with it, they love it."
Right after, I mean, the audience was so sweet to me. I remember in the moment, like, because I was trying to compose myself, and when I turned back and then I couldn't stop, the audience applauded, which was sweet, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay, this is okay, but, like, get it together." But then right after, I just started I felt like I was unaware of the amount of time I broke for, so I was like, "Was that okay?" I went back to my dressing room, and I had a lot of friends there that night, and I was like, "Was that okay?" They're like, "What do you mean?" And was like, I got worried. And then a lot of writers were coming up to me like, that was awesome.
yeah.
I was like, I
It
didn't
was kind
do
of
it.
part of it, I feel
Yeah.
like, because I
Yeah.
remember seeing the responses, and the responses were, "Did you see Heidi?" Like, that was part of it, which
Yeah.
was cool,
People have
probably.
been very sweet. And Lauren was very sweet
Oh,
about
yeah, he was like, "Don't worry, that was great.
it.
Keep doing it."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Vulture magazine described the moment as breaking in spectacularly charming fashion.
That's
Isn't that so cute?
really yeah.
The Domingo sketch, that
I
new one,
yeah, another like just
viral AF.
viral wow.
How do you guys you try to study it? Like what makes a sketch?
No, you just don't know. And
Yeah.
that I think is also really cool because when you get something in the show, you're holding it so tight. You want it, it's your baby.
Whose is it?
So that Jimmy Falley, Kira O'Sullivan, Sudie Green, and Ali Levitin wrote that.
Mhm.
So it was the writers,
It was
not like a certain cast
yeah.
members. It's really cool when the writers write such a cast piece where everyone gets to score like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but this I would say this is the same for writers or casts. It's like you write something, it gets in the show, hopefully it makes it past dress rehearsal. You're just holding on to it so tight. You want it to succeed. And maybe it does or not, but like it's almost good when a sketch like has like the grip off of it. And I felt like Domingo was just a delight the entire week. It just felt like something I don't think I ever thought it was going to get cut because I was like, it's really fun and bubbly. And, it was Ariana Grande. I was like, she's great in it. She's being hilarious.
And it's funny to watch Ariana Grande try to not sing
Yes.
well. Yeah.
But it just didn't seem like it had a tight grip on it. There was like just happiness around it. And the same with like Beavis and Butthead. It had gone to a dress rehearsal 7 years prior. I think it got cut for time from another show.
So you never know is what you're
You
saying.
just never know. And
Wow.
I try to remind myself, because there's so many high stakes at that job, and you're just like, just be open,
Yeah,
see
because
what
you
happens.
never know.
Yeah.
Damn, so you even did a sequel because it went so well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Does that happen too, or is it like, should we it's kind of like with a movie, like, do we wanna do it again even though the first one was so good?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess I hadn't even been thinking about a sequel because I honestly feel like I've been hearing about the original like up until now. Like people did it for a Halloween costume, people
Yeah.
were Domingo or the bridesmaids. And so then when,
That's so
yeah,
that's so funny.
like finding the velvet dresses we
No, that's so
wore.
funny.
But then when I heard last week, Jimmy told me that they were writing a sequel. I was like, oh, that makes such sense with Charlie. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And Marcello is such a good cast member.
I know.
He's my assistant here has a huge crush.
He's a
Yeah, everyone
cutie
loves
and a
him.
sweetie. And he was Domingo last night at Sabrina Carpenter's concert.
Oh,
Yeah, they
stop.
cut to Marcello and he's like,
Oh my
yeah,
god, he's living.
I know.
The holidays are here. The holidays are here. We are in holiday season, you guys. Everyone's shopping till they drop. So I want to make sure Skims is on your list for holiday shopping because I'm telling you, this is a gift that everyone you buy for will thank you. It's not going to be some random thing where they're like, oh, great. I love this vegetable peeler. Like, no, this is, they open the box, they see Skims, they're going to be like, thanks, babe. They're going to love it. You want to do matching pajamas? We love that holiday tradition. Matching pajamas at Skims, you guys. Also, don't you love getting an amazing bra? So the Fits Everybody Scoop Bralette, for example, first of all, it's in the name, so you can be sure that it fits everybody. You get matching Fits Everybody panties with the Fits Everybody bra. Also, the Skims Holiday Shop has everything packaged in these cute little boxes, and it makes for really easy stocking stuffers. Look no further. Skims has the best holiday shop. Shop Skims Holiday Shop at skims.com. Available in styles for women, men, kids, and even pets. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know I sent you. After you place the order, select podcast in the survey and select my show in the drop down menu that follows. Skims Scoops bralettes, you guys, they really saved me. They've been like my nursing bra, my sleep-in bra, my pumping bra, like everything. Don't miss out on Skims Holiday Shop, you guys, at skims.com. You guys, listen. Winter season is upon us, or as we call it in a household with kids, cold and flu season is upon us. I actually love seasons. I love that winter is coming up. I love holiday season in New York. I love the smell of Christmas trees they sell on the street. It's so special. I love watching the windows change at Fifth Avenue when they put up all that holiday decor. I actually love wearing a jacket. I do. I love seasons. You know what I don't love, especially now that I have kids, is when they get sick, when your kids get sick. And during the winter, it is nonstop. Noah literally now has some like stomach bug. A month ago, he had strep throat. And with a new baby, I'm obviously so worried all the time that he'll get sick from Noah because Noah's in school. You guys know how it is. So that's why, obviously, when you have something at home that can help your kid feel better, it is priceless. So if you don't know about Hyland's, I wanted to tell you about it because it's a staple in my household. Hyland's has a kids cold and cough formula, and it helps tremendously with congestion, runny nose, sore throat, cough, and post nasal drip. And it has natural active ingredients that I love. So their formulas are for daytime and for nighttime. And so that offers you round the clock care. So their new kids organic all-in-one cough syrups are safe for ages 1 to 12. So that's amazing. And they're USDA organic certified. You're welcome. And they're made with really gentle organic ingredients such as organic honey, ivy leaf, elderberry, chamomile, as well as wild cherry bark, zinc, and more. That is all amazing, amazing stuff that can help your kid feel better, help their throat feel better, all in one cough syrup. This new formula really helps soothe coughs, this mucus and throat irritation gently and effectively. And it's so important, like that cough can just linger forever. So it's really good to give your kids something to help it go away faster. I know that Noah gets stuck with like a nasty postnasal drip for so long, and it sucks for them because they don't know how to like spit it out. So the postnasal drip can be never ending. I specifically love Hyland's products because it really has a kid approved taste. Like Noah really hates all kinds of syrups, and he's really good about taking this. And I love that it's manufactured here in the US, it's allergen free, it's cruelty free, and it's paraben free. Okay. So, like I said, their kids all in one cough syrup is the newest addition to a trusted line of Highlands Kids cold and cough products. So, like I said, all organic. It's a multi benefit formula. It supports immunity. They also have a nighttime formula that supports restful nights. Highlands, crafted by nature, tested by time. Shop now for 25% off all Highlands products at highlands.com/notskinny. Kids all-in-one cough syrup for coughs due to dry, irritated throats. Kids cold and cough claims based on traditional homeopathic practice. Not accepted medical evidence. Not FDA evaluated. Number one in dollar sales. 52 weeks in October 5th, 2024. So speaking, we were talking about shows before, and everyone knows I'm a huge fan of Shrinking. Like, oh my God, I love that show so
It's
much.
a great show.
And you're on it as
Yeah.
Grace. Tell me about getting that.
Yeah, that is another thing that was just such an unexpected, special part to get. A writer on the show, Bill, had I had worked with
Bill
him.
Lawrence, yeah. We
No,
love him.
well, I love Bill Lawrence. It was
Oh,
another
not
Bill.
Bill?
Yeah.
Oh.
But we had worked together at like Just for Laughs festival in Montreal, like right before I got SNL. We both performed together. And then he was the writer on the show, and I think he threw my name in for Grace, and I got that role, and it's been so cool. Like you shoot something and I knew I really liked it. And then it had come out the first season. It was really cool. It's like it came out, but it was like a month or two later it felt like, it's just like a show needs like to
Yeah.
spread a little. And like all these people were like, I really love Shrinking. I started getting recognized as much for Shrinking as SNL, and I was like, oh,
Wow.
people really like that. Yeah.
It's such a good show. And we were waiting for season 2. Season 2 is here, and you're also on season 2, which is so fun. When did you have time to shoot that?
That was last year. I'm like, when was
Like
it?
during
Yeah.
a summer?
No, because there had been the strike. They would have shot so much season
Uh,
2 over the strike. But yeah, last year, a little bit during the SNL season and a little during the summer too.
so you had to like travel to LA because
Yeah.
they were shooting in Pasadena, no?
Yeah.
So
I
cool.
know.
And probably working with all those people. Everyone seems like, I mean, you didn't have scenes with Harrison Ford?
But I did make a very valiant effort to meet him. The last day of my shooting on season 1, I like tracked down his trailer and was like, "Hello."
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was he nice?
Yes, it was like he was so funny, so charming, and there was a golf cart on set to drive from like the trailers to set, and they told me that all the wardrobe women loved riding with him because he kind of drove fast and it was like bumpy, and they're like, it's like being on the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland with Indiana Jones.
Oh my god, wait, he drives that golf cart, like, on the show at some point.
Yeah, like real
So
indie vibe.
Krista Miller was on my show for last season with, Bill, her husband, and she literally was like, "Harrison Ford has major BDE."
Yeah,
So since then, whenever I see him and I'm like, "He just does."
he does. He's so charming and funny, and like, and the voice.
He hosted SNL, I'm sure.
I don't think he ever has. I
Really?
asked him, I was just like, "Oh my god." And he said he hadn't. I was like, "Well, now?"
Can you
Like,
do like, if you so you asked him?
well, I
Just imagine
did.
you ask and then you come back, you're like, "We got Harrison." They're like, "No."
The biggest swing I ever did in that department, and it did work, but it took a couple years, was Travis Kelce. Like
Oh, that was you?
yeah, I was, well, I mean, I don't want to take full credit, the show and the talent department, but I just obviously a big Chiefs fan, and I had seen him do like other little acting gigs or just appearances, and I was like, he's funny, he's charming. I had done the ESPYS with him, like announcing something together, and yeah, I just kept on going to the show, and at a certain point, Lauren, it was in 2022 or just
So before Taylor?
it was pre-Taylor, yeah.
Oh, so see you guys, all the haters are saying that Travis, like, leveled up just because of Taylor.
No,
He was doing
he
stuff.
was his talents were already on their way. But yeah, Lauren was like, "Well, he has to win the Super Bowl." And I was like, "Well, that is like so much pressure to ask." And then he won the Super Bowl. So,
So he got it,
yeah,
and he was it fun to work with him?
so fun.
And he
Yeah.
knows you're a major Chiefs gal.
Yeah, he came back. All my family came in for the show, all my friends. I got barbecue. We tailgated in the dressing room before the show, and he came back with his brother Jason, and they had barbecue before he hosted SNL. And
What
I
do you mean they had barbecue?
they came back. Like I had been telling him all week. I was like, I'm gonna have a tailgate in my room because at Arrowhead Stadium, it's like famous for tailgating.
Wait,
Like
so when
that's
you say tailgate in my room, it just means like pre-gaming kind of vibes?
pre-gaming with barbecue for sure. Like that's what we do at the stadium in Kansas City. Like people show up early and they tailgate. They like smoke barbecue all morning. They share their food
Yeah.
and you just tailgate. So I had been telling him all week, I'm like, I'm doing a tailgate in my room. Obviously, you're hosting the show. Like you're probably not gonna come, but I just wanted him to know, like, you're gonna have love, you're gonna have support. Like, my sister-in-law wrote me and she was like, "Is it okay to wear my Chiefs jersey to the show?" And I was like, I showed him the text. He was like, "Hell yeah,"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, Travis approves." And so that morning, he was so nice. Jeff, one of our guys in the talent department, like knocked on my dressing room and I opened it and he had these cans of like tequila sodas. He's like, "These are from Travis for the tailgate." I was like, "That's so nice." But I was like, he's not coming to the tailgate because like in between dress rehearsal and air, there's like 30 minutes. You need to prepare for the show. Like you're just finding out what sketches made it,
Oh,
everything.
wow.
And I I had run to go get my makeup done before the live show, and that's when like your guests that'll be in your dressing room start arriving. So my brothers are getting there. They're texting me like, "We're in." My best friend Michelle, people are getting there. I'm just like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "It's gonna be a great show." I'm just getting my make. And then I get another text. I open it. It's a picture of Travis and Jason Kelce in my dressing room eating barbecue. I'm like, "They're tailgating." They're like, "They're here." They were like, "We didn't even have all the barbecue set up
Oh my
yet."
god.
We're like,
Wait, did you make it before like, it
no, I did order it, but, we had, like, the, like, big pans of it, and
stop.
all the sides, and I'm like, I bet you I just know for a fact, that's the only host in SNL history that's ever tailgated before hosting the
But
show.
did you make it back to the dressing room? Like, did you
I
have
do think I
time?
came back there, yeah, and was just
Did you
I
have a
feel
moment
like
to
I
eat
saw
or
them,
drink or something?
like, filling up a plate. Yeah.
Well, you didn't have time to, like,
I
be
don't
in
think
the
I had
tailgate?
I don't think I had time to eat the barbecue, but I could come back during the show and have it.
Oh,
But I'm sure I took a drink or something.
that's so
It was
cool.
special. Yeah.
So who would you want to host that hasn't yet?
I mean, I'm such a sports fan, so Patrick Mahomes, I would love for him to host. I'd love for LeBron James to host. But then on like the acting comedian side, Catherine O'Hara, I think would be such a good host.
She hasn't done it?
No, I would love to work with her.
Yes,
I think Nicolas Cage would be super interesting. Like
and he hasn't done it ever either?
I think maybe he had, but
Nicolas
not when
Cage?
I'm there, like, just character-wise, I think
Yeah,
he would just be, like,
so
unpredictable.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be a good one.
that would be. And
Yeah.
do you cast members pitch hosts?
Yeah, and
You
we
do?
get asked every so often. I mean, I feel like I got a chief, so I'm, like, I'm good for a while.
I'm good. No, your obsession. Wait, does your current boyfriend like the Chiefs?
Yeah, so when we went on our second date, the Chiefs had actually just lost. I had, like, come downstairs. I was excited to go on the date, but I was sad about the game. And he greeted me and he was like, "How are you?" And I was like, "Oh, the Chiefs just lost." And he was like, "What does that feel like?" And he said it in such a way where I was like, nobody who likes sports
Like
has ever asked me just like, "What does that feel
like
like?"
they
So I
would
was
get
like,
it.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think you watch football." And then I was like, "Well, I was like, our quarterback, Mahomes, I didn't even say Mahomes. I was just like, oh, our quarterback, like he had the flu. So also it was like kind of stacked against us because he was sick and he had to take IVs before the game, and he just was like, looked a little dumbfounded. I was like, Patrick Mahomes. And like his eyes were still kind of just dead, and I was like, do you know who Patrick Mahomes is?
Did
Because
that worry? Is that a red flag for you?
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
I was just so interesting because everyone in my orbit knows who Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And this person that I was like, had just begun courting me didn't. And it wasn't a red flag, but I was just wondering, like, if this goes any further, like, are you
You'll
going to
have to
accept this part of me?
yeah.
And now it's like
He's in it with you?
he's in it, and
Okay.
he's got a Chiefs,
How could you not? I feel like I'm in it after sitting with you.
okay, good,
Like,
yeah,
I feel like it's easy to be drawn into it.
yeah.
So that wasn't like a one of your, like, must-haves, like, must be a football fan.
No,
Okay.
it's neat. He's like the type where I think all the must-haves I thought would have been my must-haves, like, he's kinda opposite of those must-haves, and I'm learning that that is neat, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
What would be worse if someone, like is there a team you, like, hate?
I mean, I don't hate any teams. Yesterday, we played Buffalo and they beat us, and when I'm watching the game,
You
I
hate
hate them, and their quarterback is so good and makes me mad. It's so weird.
Wait, can I guess who it is?
Yeah.
Is it that Josh Allen guy?
Yes.
Can't believe I knew that. Only
Good
because he's
job.
dating Haley Steinfeld, though.
Yes. So when I'm watching a game and he's performing well, I'm like he scored a touchdown yesterday. Like he ran it in and like, you know, that's awesome for a quarterback and he but I was like, "Oh, he's being so annoying." I was like, "Oh," and I hate it and like he's feeling himself right now and that makes like he had an amazing moment. I'm like so mad at him. But this summer and that's so when we play them, that's how I act and I'm just like I'm I'm always just saying he's being annoying because he's being good.
Yeah.
Last summer, he was next to me on a flight, and I was so starstruck. It was probably a 3.5-hour flight,
And he
and
was what, the seat next to
the
you?
seat next to me, and he's supposed to be my enemy. I took the
Supposed to be my
entire 3.5 hours because I also wanted to respect him. He was, like, watching a movie, and I could tell, like, he wanted to just watch this movie in peace. So I was like, "I'm not gonna say anything." But I said at the end of the flight, I am gonna say something. So it took me 3.5
Oh my
hours to come
god.
up to something to say. And like as I'm like getting my bag down, you know, I was just like, "Thank you for everything you do on Sundays to just put your body and yourself on the line for us and for our entertainment." And you know, I just
No, you did not. Did you say, "Hi, I'm Heidi Gardner, you might know
no.
me"? Okay.
Nope. I just because I also like to me that is like a mega. I was like, he does not know who I am. Like I was
I
so
can't
nervous.
believe
Cut to
that.
yesterday, 6 months later, and I'm like, "You are so annoying for scoring." Like,
What did he say when you said that to
he
him?
was so polite and, like, he was like,
"Thank you for putting
he
your
said, "Thank
body."
you so much," you know? And then the other thing I thought was so cool was, like, I think he, like, ordered a Coke, and I did, I told my boyfriend, I was like, Josh Allen, who he's familiar with that name now,
Yeah.
'cause I was like, "Ordered a Coke," you know?
Like, with sugar, like naughty Josh Allen.
Yeah, so cool. And then later, my boyfriend, like, ordered a Diet Coke at dinner, which I'd never seen him do.
Red flag again. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, "Diet Coke," you know? And he was like, "Oh, because didn't that quarterback order a Diet Coke?" And I was
Aw.
like, "It was a Coke." And
Aw.
I was like, "I don't have a crush on him. You don't have to order
Oh
Diet
my
Coke."
god, he wants to do the thing that, like, turned you on. That's so cute.
Yeah.
But you're like, "Actually, though, it's a regular Coke because he doesn't care about the sugar."
And a Diet Coke's a turn on.
Yeah, and a Diet Coke, like, what are you?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my god, I love that. So, we're also here to talk about your new show that
Yes.
you're judging.
Yeah,
This is a
judge.
new thing. Second Chance Stage, you guys, the trailer alone will make you really tear up. It's such a special
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes again, like, just it's really cool when like, I'll think that I know what I wanna do in my career and my life, and then just things pop up, like I was saying, shrinking, you know, it comes out of nowhere, and then this show came out of nowhere to judge, you know, a reality-based competition show, and it was actually shooting in Kansas City during a hiatus where I was gonna be there, and I was like, "Well,
W
that's really
okay.
cool."
That is Kismet AF.
Yeah, and then the contestants are people that are taking a second chance at their dreams. So maybe earlier in life, they were on the right trajectory and something in life got in the way, and now they're going for their second chance. So very vulnerable doing it, like a bit later in life or whatever, timing wise. But, and so I was like, this is cool and heartwarming. I like all that. But I was, as far as judging goes, I was like, I know that I'd be a nice judge, but I guess I just so have American Idol Simon Cowell stuck in my head
Mm,
that beforehand I talked to the producers and I said that. I was like, I know I'll be nice, but I was like, I'm not gonna be Simon Cowell. And
and
they're
especially to people that, like,
yes,
are coming for a second chance.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely not gonna be. And they're like, that's not why we hired you. We we know that you're not Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
So I just told them a little bit of my reservations, but they were like, "We'd still like you to do the job." And then once the show, we started shooting the episodes. It's like, yeah, it's so easy to love everyone that goes and puts themselves out there for you and performs for you and takes that shot. I'm like, "You're entertaining me. I already love you." But then the vulnerability and then also having to critique them, I think where I found my way in was like, "Oh, I have been here before. I've known maybe that I was talented, like, secretly," like, I'm like, "Oh, I think I could do this," but it's hard to get it out publicly, but I had so many people, like I told you along the way, like my brother and my friends being like, "No, you're funny, and, like, you should," like,
Yeah.
pushing me a little bit. So I was able to, I think, tap into, like, the vulnerability and, like, the inner voice, but be their outer voice being like, "Just, like, give it a little bit more here," or, like, "I can see that you have it. I can see when you're doing this in your room at home, like, I bet you go, like, 10 times harder, and I bet
Yeah.
it rules, and I bet you're feeling yourself,
Yeah.
and I get how hard that is to give us here, and, like, again, I keep saying vulnerable, but it is, but, like, the second that we, like, feel comfortable watching you, like, you put us at ease, and then you've got us?
Are there people that like don't pass, or is it just a critiquing sort of thing?
Yeah, no, there's definitely no X's or ands.
Oh, the no
Yeah.
X's. Okay,
No,
okay.
it's just us, like, kinda breaking down a performance? And that's really cool too, because and sometimes I felt like, you
Is there a
know
winner?
Uh-huh.
Like one winner of the whole season?
I don't know,
Okay.
but
Okay, you'll have
but
to tune in, you guys.
yeah,
It's gonna be on Max
but
November
8.
28th.
Yep,
And what is your so it's already on Max when this comes out,
yep,
so you can stream it there. Is it 1 episode a week, or is it are
2.
2 episodes a
Yeah.
week? And is there like a glimpse of one of the stories that was your favorite that you can kinda share with us, like, so we get a sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely one that there's so many stories. My biggest takeaway was I always say this in life where I'm like, you want something so bad, but like nothing is ever on your timeline. I've found out in life. It's like the more I try to force something and push something through, honestly, the less I get it. So what was really cool to see was like I get how heartbreaking it is to not get the thing you want right away that you are like going so hard for. But to see these people 2 years later, 5 years, 25 years later, be the people they are today going for it and having like all the gratitude for the moment and having become the person that they were meant to become and actually having a lens on the world and being like, "Oh, this is cool and I appreciate this moment," rather than being like 18, 19 and being like, I should get this, I deserve,
Right.
like, just cocky as all hell, like,
Yeah.
was so cool to see, so that alone, big deal, and then I did feel like there was a comedian on the show who shared a very personal story about her life and what had kind of, like, gotten in the way of her trajectory that I was able to really empathize with and have so much respect for, and, like, I definitely had a moment, like, with her and yeah.
Did you, like, relate in a way because you were almost gonna stay on a couple other trajectories, like yourself? Like, you were just gonna be a hairdresser until people pushed you kind of thing?
Yeah, she had, like, a similar comedic journey and then had a loved one who was diagnosed with dementia and went to take care of them.
Mm,
And I have experience with that and actually know how important it is for the person who has dementia to feel safe and like with the people around her. So the fact that she would like put her passion aside
yeah.
for that safety and that love while being like so freaking talented.
Wow.
It's just the ultimate love and I was able to relate with her in that way and I hope, make her feel like I think her decision is incredible,
Yeah.
like, and a winner in its own way,
Yeah.
and, like and try to talk to her about ways, like, to do both, which helped me in my life figure out ways to do both.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's so special, and what I
yeah,
love about this show is that it's not only a singing competition, just like we see a lot of, it's dancers, like you said, comedians, magicians, and so much more. So you had
yeah.
fun doing this,
Oh my god, yeah,
judging it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you
Yeah.
guys tune in to Second Chance Stage. I'm
Yes,
telling you,
please.
watch the trailer. You're gonna be hooked and want to watch it.
It's really special and just like I think it's cool it's coming out on Thanksgiving because you're gonna be with your family anyway and like just
Yeah, it's
get
such
the
a
good
family
vibes.
show.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, before you go, we're gonna do a quick SNL superlatives vibes.
Okay.
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 Most likely from like your cast and
Okay.
everything. Most likely to host an award show.
Most likely to host an award show. Well, Che and Colin did it, so
They
them.
did.
Yeah.
Okay. Most likely to prank call you.
Most likely to prank call me. Ego. She's really good at characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I loved her on that show with Adam Pally.
Oh my god,
It's
Mr.
so
Throwback.
so good.
Yeah.
Okay, most likely to be late.
Why?
Used to be maybe Pete Davidson, but
Most
not
likely
anymore.
to be late. I don't think Che would care if I said Che.
He kills me on Instagram. Most likely to be down for anything at any time.
Down for anything at any time. Marcella's pretty down.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh cool. Most likely to Irish exit.
Ego's good at that.
Yeah?
But also me.
And who gets the most lit at the after parties?
I don't think Che would mind if I said Che.
Just everything Jay.
Yeah,
Everything Jay. Most likely to get a late night show.
a late night show. Oh my gosh. James would be a really good late night host.
Is that a dream of yours?
A late night show? And I've never had that dream,
No?
but I would do it.
With you, it's like maybe she'll sprinkle it out there. Maybe it'll come out of left
Yeah.
field one day.
Yeah, I
Thank
like it.
you, Heidi. Thank you for coming on. It was so fun talking to you.
Thank
And you
you.
guys, everyone tune in on Max
Yeah.
to your new show.
Thank you.
Thank you.